Welcome, everyone. My name is Rachel Smythe. I'm the Education Coordinator for the Caregiver Resource Center of Orange County. Today, we're starting a series of live streams where we're going to focus on different and various topics. Today's topic will be on our services here at Caregiver Resource Center OC, and I'm joined by my colleague Peter Wynn, who will answer questions about our program. Please feel free to ask questions whether you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube. And these live streams will be the last Monday of the month from 3 to 3:30 p.m. And we look forward to sharing this information with you. And if there's topics you'd like to learn about, please feel free to let us know. But to get us started, Peter, would you mind introducing yourself and sharing your role here at the Caregiver Resource Center?
Yes, Rachel, thank you so much for having me today. I am very happy to be here to start out the live stream series about what we do for our community, especially in Orange County. So my name is Peter Nguyen. I am a family consultant with the Caregiver Resource Center Orange County, and I've been here with this. I have been with the center for I'm on my fifth year. I can't even believe I say that because it's going by so quickly. But it's been a blessing 5 years and ongoing. And I'm glad to be part of the team, the agency, doing what we do to so many families that are in need. We got paid, but what we do for the family are so, I guess I call it priceless. So sometimes it just can't even put into words sometimes. People, this is what they share back to us in terms of their response and feedback. But again, I'm happy to be here today and I'll share what I can share as a staff member and any feedback that I learned from family caregivers throughout the time that I've been here. Thank you, Rachel, again.
Of course, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this, Peter. So you talked about the great work that our agency does and how quickly the time has gone by, and I couldn't agree more. If somebody just happened to come across our live stream this afternoon and they have never heard of Caregiver Resource Center or what we're all about, would you mind sharing what is the Caregiver Resource Center of Orange County? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, and believe me, Rachel, I think many people have not heard of our name. Or when they do, they don't know what the heck are we doing exactly, or sometimes confused with services even. But then once they're connecting, then it's this is one quote from a caregiver shared with me that it's like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm,
It's giving them that kind of vision. So what we do, in general word, or our services in general theme is emotional support. We do so many things, but that's a general theme is to provide that emotional support feeling to family caregivers. And by breaking down into specific services, to me, the most important service that we provide is caregiver support group. And right now we are, and actually we just starting last month, we offering more groups than ever, different type of group, different specialty, different focus. For example, focusing on men's caregiver support group, so all men's can connect. And I'm sure that's a different dynamic when men's connect. Then let's say a group with everybody together, and then a group just for spouses only. Wife care for husband, or husband care for wife, or partner care for partner. So that's also new. And an art focus group just to focusing on art activity to share thoughts and put feelings down on art than talking, because sometimes some people they don't want to share in word, but they're okay using art, for example. um, but that's, to me, that's my one of the important service to focusing on emotional support, because too often time caregivers feel that they are by themselves, too alone, too isolated, and without that word support, then you can imagine it can lead to all kind of risk of caregivers burnout, caregiver fatigue, or caregiver exhaustion, those kind of things, or concern. So to hopefully through support, and they get that hope up, and then feeling that they are direction in their caregiving journey. So along with support group, then we have ongoing throughout the year classes, workshops, focusing on commonly caregiving issues, self-care topics, sometimes legal topics. and let you share too. Sometimes now we do this live stream. We're asking for more ideas from audience communities. What can we offer in terms of classes and workshop through live stream channel, or again through Zoom workshop, Zoom webinar, those kind of platform. We want to continue to do that throughout the year. Another important component for caregivers, because guess what? After so many classes, they told me that, oh, they learned something they never learned before. It's an eye-opening class. They understand now what is self-care means. They understand what is living trust is, or what is the difference between hospice care and palliative care. Believe me, to some family, that's still a mystery. What does that really means? It's still confused. I'm still confused sometimes. What does that really means? So I need to learn and sometimes re-educate myself and keep myself fresh on those topics. So yes, that's another service that we do. And the third important service to me is the respite care. We have funding through from the government, state and federal, and we're using that grant money, grant funding to provide the respite care opportunities for caregivers in different ways. And we don't have time to go in detail on all the options here, but that is available if you are a caregiver and if you never take a break in your life or want just to have a short break. That we do offer that.
That's great.
And
Well, I was going to say, so you mentioned respite, which is extremely important when you're caregiving. You mentioned support groups, and of course, education and classes on all these various topics. Are there any other services that Caregiver Resource Center provides to family caregivers?
yes, so I was mentioned to me. I guess I don't. There's no one, two, three in our services list, but that I just prioritize based on my feeling of the importance of it. But yes, down the after respite care would be, you be connecting with a one-on-one family consultant like myself. We are all social worker kind of background, but our job title with the center is family consultant. So our job is to connect with you one-on-one to help you with very different things. Having like a caregiving assessment. That's the first thing we do is having that understanding of your caregiving situation, and then from there we help you to develop like a care plan, a caregiver action plan, to as a recommendation, as a guide, so that you have a direction of how to kind of go about your caregiving situation. And I know I said this that we cannot fix your situation, but we hope to be available. We hope to be of a resource so that when you feel you stuck, when you feel that you don't know what to do or kind of lost, then you can call your assigned family consultant for emotional support, for resources, for checking in. And sometimes we check in with you if you don't even call us. We want to call you from time to time to see how you're doing. Hopefully you're doing well. And depending on at the check-in call, depending on what you share, we will provide the according support to you. And then beside the caregiving assessment and the sign up the family consultant, we also doing counseling. Counseling,
Hmm.
for caregivers. We offer 6 sessions to start out with, free counseling for caregivers. The focus of counseling is on caregiving issues. And I know sometimes that can be sound so broad, but when you connect with your consultant, the consultant can help to kind of narrow it down on, okay, is there a specific issue that you want to focusing on? Because sometimes it's only so much session you want to focusing on that issue, and hopefully can learn to problem solve or cope or deal with that, before we're dealing with another topic. Because sometimes there are so many issues, then it's so hard to deal with all that within that's again short amount of sessions. Um, Rachel, I think that's to me the component of the service that we provide. Anything else I missed, perhaps?
No, I think you really covered all of it. The only thing I would add is that even if someone's not necessarily ready for case management or ready for counseling or to join a support group, people can just call our center just to ask questions. Sometimes people call just once, maybe they call twice. They just are looking for one resource or a little bit of information, and that's okay too. And a big part of our program is that everything is free. We're not income based. We're needs based. But I think that you covered the program very well and beautifully. And you mentioned this idea of emotional support. And so I think for a lot of people, especially for caregivers, that's something that they don't focus on very much for a variety of reasons. And so I was just wondering if you could share, why is it so important for caregivers to get that emotional support, or essentially why should someone get connected with us? How can we help them? What benefits them? Just if somebody's watching this and they're on the fence, should I give Caregiver Resource Center a call or not? Why should they? What's so important about getting help if you need it?
That's a good question, an excellent question, actually. Most caregivers share that, throughout the years, it takes a toll on them, whether how strong they can be, maybe in the beginning or initially. Physically, it will take a toll on them. And of course, emotionally and mentally, it will take a big major toll on them. And emotional support can also directly implying or connecting with mental health well-being. It is a topic in our country. We're getting better, but still an issue of perhaps stigma. Perhaps we don't talk about that enough. I think people probably tell me first that they have chronic pain because of caregiving, then they're telling me they're depressed
Mm,
because they probably maybe assume that I can okay with chronic pain. Then if they told me or tell me, oh, I'm depressed, severely depressed, maybe I don't know what to say back. Maybe they're afraid that
mhm,
I do something, drastically about that thing that they share. So those kind of things that still exist. But it's not surprising or shocking when you talking to a caregiver, you can sense that energy of worries, sadness, depression. Those are the two common things. There are many more things, but that's yeah, you feel that the energy, and immediately you want to connect with that person. To emphasize why emotional support is so important and why if you are listening to this and you are a caregiver and you haven't never know about us, or you feeling that we can give you that kind of resource or lead, then please call us. And like Rachel shared, this is free. You'd have nothing to lose but maybe a few minutes of your time to call us. And if you feel that you're not ready to really connect with a consultant or with us, sure, it's okay to call back. I always say, just save our number somewhere, call us back. By the way, to do a group or a class, you don't have to be an actual client, actually. You can feel free to subscribe to newsletter and get free, we're not going to spam your email too much. Hopefully once a month to share with you what we do in the monthly thing, upcoming events of the month. And then you can have that information. You can register by yourself to get, Zoom sign in, and then feel free to join. In fact, we have now expand all over the country. We have Zoom meeting webinar that people from all over the country joining us. So it's okay to have that service without actually become an actual client. So I just want to share that. So in case you wonder, you don't want to talk to a consultant yet, you don't want to go in detail or deeper with us yet, but you feel like you want to do support group and just classes, that's fine. We're not gonna, we want to offer anything possible, to every situation that makes sense to you. We don't want anyone to feel that they are obligated or stressed or they have to do anything for us. This is about giving you the chance to do something for yourself. And it can be group, it can be class, it can be talking to a consultant, it can be counseling, it can be everything. It's up to what
mhm.
you need.
Right, absolutely. And do you find that caregivers, is this a common thing that caregivers might have a hard time kind of focusing on themselves or taking care of themselves? Is that something that you come across a lot?
Yes, it's so common. I would say maybe nine or 9.5 out of 10 clients tell me that maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know, but I think it's very normal to say that self-care has somehow become that bad word that people are
Mm,
selfish. So we have to, as a my job and everybody here, our colleagues, continue to be that person of redirecting, kind of re-education about what self-care means. Respite care, that word is also new to many people. What does respite care really mean? What does respite means? And it's simply take a break. And respite care
mhm,
means that you have coverage, even short coverage, so that you can have some relief for yourself, right? But those words are so strange to so many families. I think they understand, but they don't want to go there because, but perhaps they were told that this is not okay to do. or maybe not about anyone told them anything. Maybe they just feel bad when they see they enjoy a good time and they look at their loved one, I guess, for the lack of a better word, suffering or in pain.
Right.
So they can't stand the idea of they enjoying doing something for themselves. That just doesn't make any sense. Why am I enjoying life, I guess, for even half an hour or an hour, and when my loved one is in pain, when my loved one is confused, wandering around everywhere, saying weird things, how do I have the energy to enjoy anything? And that seems to be the common kind of themes or reason that caregivers then don't even bother to think about self-care or respite care. I think until we connect the dot of that, you know what, you're so important to your loved one. If you're not around, if you don't do self-care, well, they're going to miss you a lot. They do need you and they will miss you a whole lot. So to be available for them and be, connect with them, self-care makes sense so that you can be around longer, right? For them and for you too. And then we also emphasize the idea that you are also important. You are also important. You are also a human being. You also deserve care. You also deserve attention and support like any other human beings. Nobody deserves to be abandoned. We all deserve some sort of care, some sort of love, attention, something.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And so if someone was interested in reaching out to us or wanted to become a client with us at Caregiver Resource Center, what do they do? How does somebody get connected to our program?
I would say starting out with hopefully you know our phone number, right? Then just call our phone number, our contact. And the thing nowadays, because of the online, social media aspect, people can now even Google just caregivers Orange County. Most likely, our name will be on the first page of Google. We got a lot of referral source by that. They say they just do an online search and then they start calling. And every day, one of our staffs will take turn to be on intake to answer your phone call. It can be about your caregiving situation. We go even further. If someone call and let's say they are a care receiver, we will try our best to help them with the appropriate resource. We try not to hang up on anybody too quickly or give them just random referrals. We want to kind of help narrow it down and provide the most best appropriate. Sometimes they're just none for for depending on the situation. But we do our best to screen. We do our best to provide the best referral for the callers. And if you are meeting the criteria to be a client, we will um, invite you to become a client. Again, voluntarily, we're not going to pressure you. You don't want to, you're not ready yet. All I say is save our number. Please call in the near future if you feel that you're so stressed out. Now you feel you need that connection, and you want to be connected later at a later time. That's okay too. So that's how I kind of encourage. And then again, having our phone number is important. Um, but if you don't know, you can just Google real quick, and you see our names. I'm sure on the first page of Google, if you search caregivers support, caregiver resource, Orange County.
Absolutely. And so when it comes to actually qualifying or who would be served by our program. So anybody who's listening, if they're thinking about, I don't know if am I in the right age range? Am I taking care of the right person? How do I know if I might qualify to get ongoing services?
Excellent question. So we're not going to make it hard. We make it very simple. To take, I call it the basic criteria. First of all, you have to be a caregiver, obviously, right? And if you are a caregiver for your loved one, that's the start. We assume that you got to be 18 years and older. If you are minor, that's a lot of problem there and trouble and a lot of things. Hopefully that's not the case. But let's say you got to be 18 years and older, and then you're gonna be caring for your loved one. That's number one. Number two, you as a caregiver and your loved one, we call care receiver, must reside in Orange County. And three is here's the option for you here. Most of our client caregivers, they care for their loved one age 60 years and older. Now, if your loved one is age 60 years and older, the criteria for your loved one would be a medical or many medical condition that basically impact or impair your loved one activities of daily living. And to break it down on that, activities of daily living, it would be very simple thing that they need your help with bathing, walking, transferring, changing clothing, toileting, feeding, eating. So things that we all do, we take it for granted. We can all do that, but sometimes because of some illness, medical condition, your loved one would now not be able to do that safely anymore. And we make it even easier. If you only provide verbal assistance, it would count too. And this makes sense for, let's say, some when you start caring for loved one with Alzheimer dementia, or maybe unspecified diagnosis, but maybe showing symptoms of mild cognitive impairment. They need a lot of verbal assistance and redirection than actual hand-holding caregiving, right? So it's okay if you just provide standby assistant, verbal assistant, that would count. That would count. So that would be the third criteria. If your loved one, again, age 60 years and older, having a medical condition that impact their activities of daily living. The other option would be, this is more kind of rare, but also um, tricky. If you care for your loved one who is under 60, under 60. So we're looking for the condition has to connect with the brain somehow. So typically traumatic brain injury, or if not traumatic brain injury, then cognitive impairment or dementia early onset. We have to look for that. That would be the criteria for the care receiver that require your care. If nothing like that, please don't feel that you shouldn't call us. Yeah, just call us. We will try our best to help you to figure it out something. If we cannot do anything for you because of the criteria, we will again give you something that makes sense, hopefully, to give you so that you can end the call with something like a direction to go next. Again, never feel that you shouldn't call us. Always give us a call. If things are unclear for your situation, are just kind of murky, kind of complex, call us so we can give you a better sense of how we can help.
Perfect. Yes, please just call us if you're not sure. And it looks like we have a question from someone who's in the audience. Um, and my chat is blocking the question, so I'm not able to read it. Um, okay, there we go. Perfect. So I can see that now. So we have a question from Janelle. Do you offer services in different languages?
Yes, we do. We have staff that who can speak English, Vietnamese, and Spanish. However, let's say we have someone that call and they can only monolingual or speak very limited Chinese, Korean. We will utilize the language line. Not the most convenient in my opinion, of course, but we will do our best to serve using the language line. We're not going to just say bye and hang up. We will say, oh, please, sir, ma'am, give us a chance. We're going to connect you with a language line so we can talk to you and know what you need. And after that, I mean, this is again, preferably, we hope to connect with maybe family members that can speak English to be in between, us and their loved ones. That would be ideal. Now, sometimes that's not ideal, so we have to go back to the language line. Guess what? It works. It can be helpful because of we want to be helpful.
Absolutely. And sometimes families are actually there's there's multiple caregivers within a family. And so sometimes that's another service that we offer, right? Is family consultations or family meetings. We have another question from an audience member. And just a reminder, if you'd like to ask any questions, please feel free to utilize the chat function on um, whichever format you've joined us, whether it's YouTube or Facebook. But we have a question here. Is this service available outside of Orange County?
Yes. It's a blessing that if you live in California, anywhere in California, from North California all the way to South San Diego, we have 11 caregiver resource centers across the state providing similar things, services to support family caregivers in California. So if you call us and you tell us that you live in San Jose, San Francisco, we cannot do anything for you from our end. We will give you the contact phone number of that resource center there so you can connect with them. Criteria will probably similar. but they will know the resource there, and you'll be connected to their center there, and you'll be connecting to their family consultant there. Again, we do similar things. This is a blessing that we have in California. As far as I know, at this point, I don't think we have system like this in other state yet. So again, to answer that question quickly, yes. And we will provide you the contact if you call and you share with us that you live in Orange County.
It's great. That made me think of another question too. I know you mentioned that for our particular program, you both the caregiver and care receiver need to live in Orange County. What about if they don't live in the same household? Would they
They
still
don't have to live in the
qualify?
same. Yes, thanks, Rachel, for that question. They don't have to live in the same household. They still qualify.
Okay, great, great. And then just the last question that I had, and of course, if there's any other audience members who'd like to ask anything, we're happy to answer those questions. But I was just wondering, what type of feedback have you gotten from caregivers who've engaged with our services? So, what type of things do they say about our program?
So we do send out what like a survey to seek caregivers feedback so that we can continue to improve on our services and what we can do to offer. Like we're asking for feedback like what topics do members want to know about caregiving, for example. So based on survey and even based on feedback after I talk to people, I think most memorable would be they say after we finish an intake or an assessment would be, wow, I feel hopeful now.
Mm,
I feel hopeful now. When I hear that, I always almost broke in tears. Just like I didn't do anything. I just give you, some to me is paperwork stuff, and you already told me you feel hopeful. I I just want to feel like okay, I want to do more for this person because this is crazy. Uh, or I share in the beginning, someone told me, I found the light at the end of the tunnel. I know what to do now. I have some direction now. Or someone
right,
would say, and
absolutely.
any help would be helpful. I don't care how many hours of respite. I don't care. I'm being so needing a break. Anything is helpful. I'm appreciate anything that you can help me with. Um, and many more. We may even need another live stream to share just about feedback from clients. But in think in general theme, we get that positive feelings. We get that kind of hopeful feeling from caregivers when they are connecting to our services.
Absolutely. One that I hear a lot as well is just, I don't feel so alone. The caregivers often feel like they're the only one on this journey, and really getting to connect with other caregivers and know that they aren't alone really has been a big impact for a lot of individuals who've reached out to us.
That's true.
Absolutely. We just have about a minute or two left here. So I don't know, Peter, if there's anything else that you'd like to share or if there's any other questions from anyone who's joined us today. But I'll give you just a moment to share anything you'd like to add, Peter.
Thanks, Rachel. And again, I just want to emphasize if you seeing this live stream now and you never heard of us, please give us a call if you are a caregiver for your loved one and feeling that you need that support. I mean, it's all commendable if you feel you can do it alone. It's all good. But again, we are here. You feel you need that help. It's all free services. Or if you're watching this and you know anybody that in a caregiving situation, please pass on our website and our phone number so that giving them a chance to call us. You don't have to say too much beside, hey, I just found this cool center of helping caregiver for free. You want to give them a call? Maybe it's going to be helpful for you. That will be a start. Sometime, I mean, believe me, we got a lot of referral source like that. Just family members, friend knowing us and telling others to call. Or we have former clients, who once a caregiver and now that their loved one passing, also continuing to be our referral source, continuing to share our contact within their network, within their family members. So feel free to do that. We don't have a waiting list. That's a good news. Easier for me, but hey, that's fine. No waiting list. Once you connect, you meeting the criteria, we will connect with you and get you help that makes sense for you. So that's all I kind of add at the end, just encouraging and hoping to continue to provide more help and service to our community.
Great. Thank you so much, Peter. And our website's up on the screen. It was caregiveroc.org, and you can always call us at 714-446-5030. We're happy to help, and thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon, and thank you so much, Peter, for taking some time to share about our program. And we hope we'll see you
You're
next
welcome.
month on the last Monday of the month at 3 o'clock. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Take care, everyone.